what's going on in servers on here, so I'm bringing you another video. This is going to be a test footage for the Christmas event that is going to see if it's possible to get Cozmo to free roam. Now, I have an idea of how to do it, and I'm gonna explain how, because you can see his cubes are all over the place, and this is why. Because when you're not doing anything with the app, you just leave it sitting there like that. It updates it saying like Cozmo is looking around, Cozmo is collecting his cubes, so he moves around and he sets goals for himself to do. So if I don't touch the app and I just let him do whatever he wants and leave the cubes spread out across the place, he's gonna have to drive around and try to find them, like he's doing. He is on carpet though, which I know he can drive on this carpet. Because I've seen him do it before. It's just, I don't know. Like on the app, Cozmo is exploring his surroundings. So, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna move him onto a hard surface for a little bit. Push my chair in. So. Alright, so now he's on a hard surface, but now his cubes are over the place that he's not even going to be able to see. Let's put one there. If you can't tell, I'm just making this video so that way I have one to make today, because I have to go to work soon. So we'll let him explore around and hopefully he'll just roam. That's my hope, is that spreading the cubes around and having him just move around is just gonna simulate a roaming mode for the little guy. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought would happen. God dang it. Oh, he's playing a game. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought would happen. So it looks like Ankai hasn't really programmed an autonomous mode into the guy. If you can't tell, he's just driving around in circles, pretty much. They didn't really put in an autonomous mode because he's meant to be on a table. He's meant to be played with on a small surface. I don't think he's really meant to be played with like this with an autonomous mode, because if you can see, he's not really going anywhere. He's just kind of looking around. Like, his cubes are all around the place. And what I was hoping he'd do is he'd try to find his cubes and he'd drive around and then he'd get a glimpse of it and then he'd kind of drive over there. That doesn't look like that's what's going to happen, though. I'm pretty sure if I added more robots in there, he probably wouldn't move very much. He'd probably just try to pounce on their feet. So here's some real talk with this robot. So when this thing first came out, well, when you could pre-order it, it was like $180. You could buy this thing for $180. I got mine for around $200 on eBay. But here's the crazy thing. You can, like, what the? These little suckers are selling for like $500 on eBay and Amazon. I think even Walmart. Kevin sent a picture the other day, and it showed it for like $470. It's like, are you crazy? Like, it's the same thing with those stupid Hatchimals. They're like $50 in the store, and yet they're going for $500 on Amazon and eBay. I mean, good God. And the reason why is because they're so popular. Especially this guy. I'm glad I got him when I did. When I first bought him, I was a little iffy on spending $200 on a little tiny robot like this, but I'm glad I did because now they're like $500. They're as much as a V2 used to cost, pretty much. It's nuts. I can't say I'm surprised, though, because of how great this guy is. I mean, this little guy has a lot of personality in him. I mean, it's pretty amazing what they fit in the little thing. Yeah, see, now his cubes are lighting up, because I think they do got to be closer to him. Don't think they're within range or something. I'll put him a little bit closer, but the whole idea of this was to try to get him to roam and see if, in my next Robots Roaming video, if I could have him in there roaming around. And if he'd actually drive, he wouldn't just sit there in place like what he's doing now. But yeah, I mean, real talk with this guy, if you're paying $500 for this guy, you're wasting your money. I'm sorry, he's a great little guy, but $500 is really, really steep for this guy. I would say max $250, and that's putting a lot of money on it. I mean, as advanced as the little guy is, there's no way $300 is worth it for him. Now, I understand if you're a parent and and your kids really want this little guy, I completely understand why you'd, put more money with it. But if you're spending like $300 on this guy, that's kind of ridiculous. Then the thing is, people are actually spending that much money on this guy. They're actually going on eBay and paying $300-$400 for it. And then what that means is, then other people are like, oh, well, it's selling for that much, so I'm just going to keep it there. Oh, so this fixed the problem. So moving him closer to him, now he knows that they're around him and he's collecting them. Okay, so that's all right. But this guy is not $500 material. I mean, I can already predict some problems that's going to come across with this guy. I'm assuming that head motor is going to get weak after a while. Same with RoboQuad. I'm assuming that the wheel motors are going to get worn out. And I know the battery's eventually going to give out. That one's a given. I mean, batteries and anything give out after a while. So I guarantee you this guy's battery will eventually someday start to decay and wear away. What's funny is on eBay, you can actually buy protective faceplates for this guy. So apparently people have managed to crack the faceplate on this guy. There's also carrying cases and stuff for him, which, that's $20, which is fine. But it's like, now companies are making faceplates for this little guy. It's, what were you doing that made it have a cracked faceplate? I mean, that's what I want to know. It's like, if you managed to crack the faceplate off this thing, you were doing something you probably shouldn't have been doing. You were probably throwing around like a football or something. Because, I mean, there's no way this thing could crack a faceplate by driving into something because that forklift's in front of him. It's guarding his face. It wouldn't. It's in front of him enough where if he was driving into it with it down like that, the forklift would be hitting that before his face would even be hitting it. So I can't see why it would crack by him ramming into something. I don't know. Maybe he fell off the table or something and he landed on his head. I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that that's a thing is kind of stupid. It's like people are treating this thing like an iPod, which apparently it costs as much as an iPod now. iPod or iPhone, they're putting faceplates on the thing. Oh, see, this is what I thought would happen. Now the cubes are close enough where now he can ask to play games and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe this is kind of his only quote unquote autonomous mode. He's supposed to be really autonomous, but out of what I'm seeing, they haven't really programmed much of an autonomous mode. What the? That's weird. Anyways, like I can't believe people are putting this thing for $500 on eBay. I mean, $500, that's almost enough to buy a really, like, a cheap car. I mean, honestly, that's nuts. When I say autonomous, when I mean autonomous, I mean like this thing is driving around and avoiding objects. And, you know, constantly driving and doing stuff. He's just kind of sitting there in place and kind of spinning around and looking around, not really driving. I mean, he avoided an object there, but he isn't doing anything really about it. He's just kind of turning around and looking at his cube. That's where I'm going to end this video today. Tomorrow will be another video. But he's pretty cool, but he's not $500 cool.
You gotta see how that rice is doing, boy.